Tango X-ray.
Good heavens. Nice signal there, brother. G0DTX K1 GMM. Give your report on the next go. How you been, man? Hope all is well. Over.
Yeah, Roger, Steve. Yeah, everything's fine, mate. Nice signal from yourself, mate. I've been trying to work a few statesides, but yeah, you're 10 over. You'd allow this on the band at this present moment in time. Let's put a bit more power on for you as well, a bit of low power. That's 400 watts there. Yeah, everything's fine, mate. How you been doing, over?
Yeah, good. Great. Well, you know, signals are really good, but it doesn't seem like there's very, very many people on the band there, over.
Yeah, Roger. Yeah, I've worked a couple of stateside, but like I said, you're the strongest. Just having a quick look in my log now. I just worked Whiskey 1 AW. It was a 5 and 8, so you're 10 over, mate. So, I don't know. Sometimes I get when I've worked you, Steve, you seem to, I don't know, you just seem to be coming in better than everyone else. I think it's because we're both living in parabolic dishes there, over.
I just had an amazing, and you're floating. There is some QSB. You're anywhere from an S8 to like 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 over. I know there's QSB on me as well, but you're loud, dude. No problem. I was just talking to a friend of mine, Dave M6ENS, and we were talking about where I live. We were discussing like topography and stuff like that. And I don't know, I need to do some research. You always have a good signal though, whenever I hear you in here. So I think it has a lot to do with your station and the efficiency of what you're running there, over.
Yeah, Roger. Yeah, but I'm the same as you, Steve. Not the same as you, but I'm living in a hole, mate. I've got, I think it's 1,500 feet at the front of the house, and behind the house it's I don't know, about 1,000 foot. So I'm in an actual bowl. If you click on my QRZ and zoom in on the QTH, you'll be able to see what's around me. I've got a place called Woodhead behind me, Mottram Moor in front of me, and to the left of me on this QTH. I've got a place called Snake Path. Same working conditions this way. I'm peaking just up to the 400 watts, 377 at 400 watts. So not that much power. They're going to give us 1,000 watts, by the way. They're going to put our power up, but I'll do that on the next over. And it's just the XB mate pointing your direction. Just have a quick look at your details. A little bit high, actually. So, just come down. Well, no, I'll leave it there. I don't know why I'm trying to get the signal better. Mate, I'm cracking up. I think it's the time of the evening. So they're changing the syllabus here in the UK. I don't know when, but I've seen some reports, and we're going to get 1,000 watts for the A class there, over.
Yeah, that is amazing. Hey, stand by just for a second. Hold on. Hey, you want to slide up 500 hertz. You want to go up to 289.5, over?
Yeah, 289.5, no problem.
Okay, K1 GMM QSY. Okay, that should be a little bit better. I got somebody who's blowing into the passband there. There's plenty of room. I mean, but the band is shifting. It's shifting around. Hey, are you there? K1 GMM.
Yeah, I'm here, Steve. Yeah, I just on K down here. Someone on top of us.
Yeah. I mean, there's no reason to suffer. I don't believe in that. Yeah. Now, I had this great QSO, and I'm recording this because you're so strong. I have to record this. Do you have a minute? I don't want to hold you up. Were you moving through the band? I don't want to hold you up there, John. Go ahead.
No, I've just spinning it out, mate. As they call the keys, so I jumped in.
Okay, yeah, cool. Because I'm in no hurry. I don't care. I'm always looking for a quality QSO as opposed to a bunch of hit and runs. So that's just the way I am, Anyways, so is there a? Let me preface this with, Dave asked me. He says, "Do you know what kind of materials are in the ground?" Right? Kind of. I'm paraphrasing, of course. And I said, well, I know I live right underneath. It's either number one or number two of the largest marble quarry in the world. This mountain behind the house is 4,000 feet, and it looks like a freaking volcano, dude, towering up over the house. And I'm right at the bottom of it. I live right underneath it on the west side of the valley floor. And it's all marble. And I had a friend of mine tell me, he says, he said, I really think that those mountains play a role in how you get out on 40 meters, because I worked the only event I ever decided to run 5 watts on was the Pennsylvania QSO party. And I took the Vermont section in that, right? And I had guys arguing with me, telling me that there's no possible way I was running 5 watts because I was 20 over. Now, on 40 meters, that's approximately 300 to 400 miles, 350 miles, somewhere in there. And on 40 meters, dude, that is just an incredible path for me on 40. I mean, I could do that on like a milliwatt. You know what I mean? It's just it. And he said it's got to be something to do with that marble on the mountain. So my question to you is, have you seen that same anomaly? Like what's in the ground? What's the best direction for you to go? Go ahead.
Yeah, Roger. To be fair, mate, it's nothing special. It's just clay. And the rest of it, where my actual QTH is, I'm sitting on clay. Well, there used to be a stream running through the bottom of my garden at one stage. So yeah, it's quite watery ground, but clayey ground. And the rest of the land that's around me is moorland. At the back of me, like I said, I'm near Mottram Moor, and Woodhead Pass is it's all moorland and snake path. So yeah, it's all that's the actual groundwork. But yeah, I've got guys near me. They've got steppers and all sorts. If the pointing, mine's west, by the way, stateside. That's my favourite direction. But yeah, I've got guys near me. If they're pointing east, obviously they've got steppers, 3-element steppers, so bigger guns. But that's my worst condition. But actually pointing stateside, I can get better signals sometimes. Where I run power, I'm beating them. Someone sent me a video, actually. I was talking to somebody in the States, and I'm saying, like, oh, you turn over, and there was a 7 at their QTH when they was filming me. So, yeah, what I think it is, Steve, I think I'm actually bouncing off the hills. It might be the same with yourself, so I'm ricocheting around the hills. I would get good signals coming in. Like I said, the east is the worst way. But for southwest, up to north, really. So, well, from south to north, I'm quite good. More southwest to north is the best signals, but I think it's actually ricocheting off the hills there, over.
Yeah. I've never really looked at that, John. How, and boy, took a huge fade. So I'm going to try and keep this short. Typical bands, the way they are. You faded right out, right down to like an S6 at times. Hopefully you can still hear me. I'll keep it short. I've never really looked at the effects of this type, you know how like MMA and A, you look at the modeling software and you can plug in like variables and stuff like that. And I would love someone to take my QTH and model the antennas I have based on my exact QTH. You know what I mean? I've never really done any research as to how like marble, this type of topography affects different wavelengths. I can tell you on 40, it's gangbusters on 40. Going either southwest or northeast. Holy crap, dude. It's awesome. Now on 20 meters, I have no idea what's going on. I know I don't go west from here very well. That's a fact. I was telling Dave earlier, I can drive up the road approximately 15 miles, and I drive out of this notch, and I can work California on a 6.5-foot whip on the car like nothing out of the mobile. And I can't even hear California here on these enormous antennas. Over.
Yeah, Roger. Yeah, obviously, the height, but yeah, it's strange, mate. Strange, but it would be very interesting that if you could get someone to model it. I don't know if you could actually do it in the software, like M1. Not M1MM. That's logbook, isn't it? What's it called? The stuff that Callum uses. I can't remember. The ex-commander fella. But it'd be very interesting if you could get some sort of software or someone knows how to do it and get some idea what's actually going on. But like you said, if you get on 40, on QRP and winning sweepstakes, it's not so bad there, mate, over.
Yeah, right. I know what a freak show that was. I'll probably never work another QRP event again. I haven't since, and that was a long time ago. That was like, holy crap, 2016, 2017 maybe. Never worked another event at 5 watts again. I don't think I could do it now the way the bands are. Over.
Yeah, Roger. It's probably too busy now. We get the CMEs and it knocks it out completely. I don't know what's better actually, to be fair with you. Solar minute or solar, or the band's getting better because just been seeing, the band's just been seeing, the last 2 months, we've just been battered, haven't we? The bands have been dead because it's been CMEs, X flares, M flares, you name it, we've been battered with everything. Beginning of the year was good, but it's been atrocious. And during the day here, it's bobbings, mate. There's nothing on there. The odd European, and obviously the band wakes up a bit at night. But it's a strange one. I'll put it back to you. Make sure that you're not losing me. K1 GMM, GZODTX.
Yeah, no problem. S8, S9, no problem. Through the whole over. K1 GMM. So what else you been doing? You got anything new in the shack? You been playing with any new toys there over?
I'm all tied out, mate. I emptied the bank account when I got this 101, but just the same old. I keep changing stuff about. I've got a 90. Hang on, can't remember what it's called now. 7100. I run XT8 on that, and that was hooked up to the linear up to a few months ago. So I'm going to be sticking that back on the linear, and I've got a 7700. I'll just have that running on its own on 40 and 7 meters. I've got spare antennas for it. Just same old. But mate, I'm always flapping about, mate. Moving stuff. I'm never satisfied over.
That goes with the hobby, dude. That's part of this madness, isn't it? It really is. I've been on. Last night, my 7300 puked, completely died. Will not turn on, and I'm not going to get into it, but I had a very strange anomaly happening over the past, several months with that regarding power. And It's too long to get into. I'm not going to bore you with it, but yep, she's dead. So I got to pop the cover on it. I got to check the internal fuse there. Other than that, I don't have a clue, dude. She will not even. There was no magic smoke. There was nothing. I checked the voltage at the connector. Everything's good. She just won't turn on. So I will always have. I'm on the Sun right now, and I will always have a radio I can run standalone with no computer in the shack. Always. These SDRs are cool. They're fun to play with, but automatically started thinking, I'm like, oh crap, where do I go from here? I'd really like to get a 101. Unfortunately, the 7300 is worthless at this point. I thought about selling the Anon, but I don't know. I'd like a decent set that would be standalone set. I've looked at FTDX 3000s. I really like those. Dave M6ENS has a 3000, and he has an FTDX 10. Great radios. I've been looking at an FTDX 10. My primary rig is the SDR2DX, what I'm on right now, but I got to have something that is not dependent on a computer to run it. You know what I'm saying? I could throw a deep cycle battery on it, hit the power button, bang, off and running there. Over.
Yeah, Roger. Yeah, it's just switch and go. If you've got any problems with computer or whatever, internet, or man, it's not running through the internet, is it? But you know what I mean. You're not reliant on a computer to run the other half of it. Having said that, I don't know anything about the SDR radios. There's only one guy close to me. He's got a Flex 6400. I bought the 7800 off him, the one that popped on me a few months back. I seen a post actually. Someone sent the Icon 7800 off to Japan and they fixed it. You can't get the parts now. So I think I'm going to have to go direct to Icon Japan to sort that out. But I'll have to send off for a box first. And that's a strange one. That's the second 73 I've heard that's gone in the last month. So you're the second one. Because I was quite surprised. When you said that before, I was quite surprised because they're quite bulletproof, the 73s. It's that's a strange one, mate. And it's just not switching on. So I'm presuming it's not the PAs. It's just died on you. So what a run do. And if you go for the 101, mate, that's what I'm on at the moment. You won't be sorry of getting a 101. That's for certain. I'm not just saying it because I've got one. It's just I can make this thing as quiet as hell. And the way you mess about with stuff, you'd have it running like everything's on FM all the time. Basically, I run this mostly open, mate, to be fair. All I touch on this is the noise reduction. And there's noise coming out. I think I've just got used to the noise, but you can get it as quiet as anything, this thing. Bit of RFK, a bit of attenuation, and you're off. And you've seen the BC tuner. That's on another level, mate. But that's a strange one. So it's just not switching on at all, Steve. I know you say you're not going to go into it, but it's just not switching on at all, are they?
Yeah, it's weird, dude. Well, I'll get into it. I'll go into it, and I'll try and keep it short. So I used to run an AL80A amplifier, which I still have, and I'm not running that right now. I'm running the PW1, about 400 watts, 450 maybe, and so I always ran the Ameritron ARB 704 interface buffer between the rig and the amplifier, right? Well, I noticed, this was a long time ago, I turned on the radio, I went to operate it, and I hit the key, and the radio shut off. And I'm like, what the heck is going on here? and I farted around with it for like 15 minutes. I couldn't figure out what was going on. Well, I realized that we had thunderstorms the night before, and I had unplugged the power cable. So how the frick did the radio turn on, dude? So the ARB 704 must be putting out 12 volts or whatever on that CIV cable that's plugged into the back of the radio, allowing it to power on. But when you PTT it, there isn't enough amperage there to actually kick the PA in. So it just shuts off, and then when you release the key, it pops back on again. I couldn't figure out at the time what the heck was going on. Right? Now, you want to hear something crazy? This radio, for the past 2 or 3 years, I've had it since 2016, so it's 7 years old. The past 2 or 3 years will not run on a deep cycle battery or any other power supply than the Alinco, the DM330FX that I'm running right now. It will not run. I've tried to get it to turn on. It will not turn on, dude, on any power supply other than this Alinco. No joke. I have tried everything. And where I first found it out, as I was trying to locate a noise source in the house, so I brought a deep cycle battery down, and I put the radio on the deep cycle battery. And yes, it's a 120 amp hour battery, and it was full boat. They sit on the chargers all the time out there. Full boats. I checked it. It was like 764, 65 volts. And it would not turn on. It will not run on anything but the Alinco. And finally, I found out that the ARB 704 was providing voltage to the accessory connector on that CIV cable into the radio. That's what was enabling it to turn on. Right? Without the power cable plugged in. I don't know if there was damage that happened and it finally let go last night, but I went to turn it on and it's dead, dude. I tried everything. I cannot get that thing to light up. Nothing. No click, no nothing. Over.
Oh, yeah, strange one, strange. I was just thinking when you said there's a thunderstorm, I wonder if there's been some sort of spike of some description. But yeah, you disconnected everything, haven't you? Yeah. Oh, mate. Yeah, I bet you gutted me over.
Yeah, so anyways, in a nutshell, I'm not sure what I'm going to do. The dilemma, you know what the dilemma is, right? So I drank the Kool-Aid, and I paid $1,400 for this radio in 2016, right when it was released. I have beat the piss out of this radio, dude. I'm telling you, this 7300, I've got tens of thousands of hours on this radio. It owes me nothing. So if I send it off to ICOM or somewhere to be repaired, if it costs me $500 to fix it, now I've got $1,900 into this radio, right? What do you do? I'm not sure what to do, man. You know, do I chalk it up as a loss, sell it for parts, and go get something else? Over?
Yeah, I've been that one. I've got that T-shirt. That was the same with the 78. This is how I ended up getting the 1000. I dug into some savings because I said to my missus, by the time I've tried to save this, I'm going to be $1,000 more into it. Yeah, that's why it's just sat on a shelf. Eventually, I will have it fixed, but it will have to go to ICOM. So yeah, that's buying the box, which will probably cost me a couple of £100, and sent here, and then the shipping off, and blah 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 blah. Yeah, you start thinking, am I going to lose? Yeah, what am I going to gain? But to be fair, it's I don't think it's going to be about $500. It's going to be something or nothing. It's going to be a small component, I reckon. I don't think it's your PAs, because most of the time you've been running with a linear as well. So I know you've been battering it, but I don't think you've been battering it that much, mate. Yeah, I've just noticed on your website as well now, you've got the PW1 amp as well. Yeah, it's just the Marital last time I saw it, yeah. I think I seen that on the video the other week, actually. I think, oh yeah, it was the Shack video, the PW1. Yeah, I've seen it. So yeah, it's probably going to be a couple $100. As daft as it sounds, it's been better off. It was the finals. You just knew it was the finals. You could have got them and popped them in yourself. But yeah, it's a hard one, mate. It's going to be. I think it's going to be the most sensible thing, mate. Is trying to find out what's gone wrong, put it in somewhere. Find out yourself, or put it in somewhere. Personally, I'd have to put it into a shop. I can only just see the keyboard. Never mind components, especially on the new stuff now. They're that small, and see what it's going to cost. If it's too much, you can call that a loss. But personally, I think you're better off actually fixing it, and you could part exchange it, or if you've got that much in it, you've got a new portable radio there, Steve, over.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Well, that's encouraging, so thank you. Yeah, I was thinking about calling ICOM. It's funny, John, K1GMM, I called ICOM, this was a few weeks ago, when I finally decided I would check this anomaly and see if I could figure out what the heck was going on. Maybe they had something for me. So I told him the situation with how it won't run on any other power supply, right? So I told him everything I told you and more. And you know what he said to me? This is ICOM technical support. 3 words. Guess what those 3 words were? I got nothing. He had never heard of such a thing before. Over.
Well, that's why I didn't make a comment, mate, because there's not much you can say, is there? It's only working on one power supply, and you get the same voltage out of whatever. But I'm not surprised there, Steve. Over.
Yeah. I mean, have you ever in your life heard of anything like that? Go ahead.
No, never, mate. If you was a newbie on the radio, you think you'd have a screw loose, mate.
I know, dude. I'm telling you, I think I am insane. You know, I'm nuts, right? You know that. Most people who know me think I got a few screws loose. They're rattling around in a box, but man, dude, I've done everything. I've tried every combination. I've tried like hard resets. Any radio that I have, right? So I got an 857, the Expert, the Anon, and the 7300. Oh, and a bunch of other, I've got an Anytone Quad 6 that I used to run on 10 meters when I was first licensed. Little Bearcat 980 SSB. Dude, all of them. I can put those on anything and they will just light up and go. You know, so I know I'm crazy, but I'm not that crazy. You know, you take a radio, how hard is it? Make sure your polarity is correct. Stick the red wire on the plus terminal. Stick the black wire on the negative terminal. And if you have a question, take your multimeter and check the end of the power cable where it goes into the radio. Make sure you've got whatever voltage you're supposed to have and hit the power button. It's supposed to turn on. Over.
It's something and nothing, mate. I know. It's something and nothing. That's a component that's been breaking down. Probably when you're moving stuff about, changing different power supplies, it just so happened it's worked on that particular one. So it'd be something, a resistor or something that's been breaking down all the time or something. I don't know, but yeah, it is a crazy one, mate. I've done daft things like that myself. But it's usually something, an error, you know, like I've not plugged something in correctly. Not that particular fault, but I've had radios and going, it's not working, what's going on? Or you put the wrong antenna into whatever socket you're using. You're thinking, what's going on here? I can't SDB, are they? I moved the shack about the other week. I can't remember what it was, but one of the bit of kit in here, it was up the wall, and I just thought, oh my god, I've broke something here. I think it was the linear, and basically, as one of the leads, I put it in and it slipped back out because I'm moving stuff. But yeah, it was the linear. I thought, oh, jeez, I've blown my bloody linear up. I've got my missus in here. She usually sees the common sense of things, and she's licensed as well, mate. So I was saying, look at this, that, and the other. Anyway, I went round the back and I fixed it. And I went, I fixed it, love, it's all right now. She said, what was it? I went, I pulled the plug out of the back. But yeah, that's a normal shape. But yeah, mate. I bet you were scratching your head on that. I'm bald, mate, so I'll be okay. But what's your
Oh, yeah. You're bald. Well, see, you got no hair to lose, so that's a beautiful thing. My hair is going gray, and it's falling out in chunks, so I'm on my way. I don't know, dude. Hey, how'd you get your wifey to get her license? Was she licensed before you met, or did she get your license after you guys got together? Go ahead.
No, we was together. We've been married a few years, actually. And I talked her into getting the license. The story on this one is we used to have, when we took the license here, it was called the REE. And you had all your technical questions, and then obviously operating questions. And then if you want to go on HF, you have to do them all. Anyway, I took it 3 times and I failed it. And I said to my missus, I was pirating on CB. But I had arm equipment. And I said to my missus, if somebody comes here, we get busted, they're going to take all the equipment off me. So I said, go in for it. Well, the hell, mate, she went in for it first time and she passed. I passed the time after, so she's actually been licensed longer than me. But the only reason she did it is so if I didn't get busted, we won't lose all the gear bit over.
That's good. That's a good one. Lisa, I call my wife, she gets together with the girls, and I call them the cackling hens, because that's what they are. And she even nicknamed herself on certain forums and boards and stuff, the Vermont Cackler, because you know how women are. You get a bunch of women together, dude, you got to get out of there. You got to run for your life. If you're the only guy in that situation, you got to go like your freaking hair is on fire. Yeah, so I figured she'd be like a perfect fit for this, right? For ham radio. She wants nothing to do with it, dude. Absolutely nothing. She will not even consider. She's a smart girl, too. And I told her, you know how you wave that little carrot out there and you say, well, there's not a lot of YLs on the air. You get on the air, I'm telling you, and she's got a good voice. She's very friendly. She's got a bubbly personality. Holy crap, dude. You want to talk about pileups? Oh, yeah, dude. She doesn't want anything to do with it. No, I'm too shy. I'm like, yeah, right. She's not shy at all, dude. So, yeah, I could never convince her to do it, but therein lies the problem. She's going to take over my station. So what am I going to do there? Go ahead, K1GMM.
Yeah, she did do it, yeah. Well, my wife used to mess with the radios. Oh, crikey, mate, it's back in the 80s. I got my license, my B license, I think it's about 83, so she'd have been 82. And I used to work the doors at night. I used to be a doorman.
It's just wicked QSB.
Yeah, she's on the radio most of the night. But we like I said, it was an A and B license, so a B license you could only use 2 meters 77s. I lived in the last QTH, well, a few years ago, a couple of QTHs ago. We was 1,500 feet above sea level. So she could work into Isle of Man, she could work all into Europe on 2 meters. So that was a thing at the time. And we weren't fighting over it because obviously, like I said, I used to work nights on doors, so that's when she used to spend most of the time. And she get off early because obviously we had a couple of kids, young kids at that time. But since we've come back on the air, I was 36 years off. I sold all my radio equipment. My main job, because I still run doors. I didn't stop till I was 57. But we had a gymnasium. It was a powerhouse gym, which was obviously near Manchester. So I sold all my gear. So I think it was 36 years before I got back on. And it was all through a Baofeng of all things. One of my friends come round and said, see my little Baofengs, 270 things. So he bought me one and brought it in and said, yeah, I keep saying you're going to go back on the air. And that's what started it. I got back on, but she's not been interested. I keep trying to say, go on. She'll help me set the station up and mess around with antennas with me and stuff like that. I suppose I'll drag her into it, really. But yeah, she's never actually bothered getting back on. But we've got grandkids now, so I think she's thrown herself into that. But yeah, sometimes I wish she'd jump in with the hobby with me. But yeah, I think she's had a day on that one. But she's fully licensed. The B licensing now, they give you a gratis A license. A few years back now, I was off the air when they'd done it. Your B license became an A license. I wish I'd known. I wouldn't have done the bloody miles, mate. But yeah, so she's actually got my old call sign. But she doesn't do that. She doesn't actually go on it. But she will actually mess with me when I'm doing stuff in the shack there, over.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's at least if she helps you. Hey, you know, yeah, well, there's got to be a balance to everything. So if you think of it this way, right? If she helps you, once she helps you, you kick her out the freaking door and you can go play radio and she'll just leave you alone, right? And you get to do what you want to do, and she does what she wants to do, go play with the grandkids. Hey, see, that's a nice balance there, as long as she can help you out when you need it. Oh, dude, I have tortured my wife. Oh, my gosh. I've had her out there working on antennas at like 11, 12 o'clock at night with snow going sideways like 10 above 0 Fahrenheit. Freaking horrible. Hey, can you hold this tarp? I need to solder this connection together. I mean, talk about misery, dude. Total misery. And she's such a good person. You know, it's amazing. I have to tell you, though, I don't know if she would do it now. If I said that, like I put up a 6-meter antenna. This was, I don't know, a couple months ago. Haven't used it. Well, I have used it, but I haven't made any contact. I made a couple contacts, but that was a waste of time. And it's hanging on the 20-meter array that I have. I'm talking on right now, right? So I have to drop the entire array, and the whole array gets all tangled up when it hits the ground. It's got 4 connection points, right? It comes down, and it's 2-element loop with delay lines on it. So there's coax all over the place, and you know, a full wave loop on 20. It's not huge, but it's 66 feet of wire, and there's 2 of them there. So when they hit the ground, it's like you don't touch it. You leave it alone and hope that when you pull it back up, everything snaps back into shape, right? Nothing gets tangled. Well, I got a fireplace, a fieldstone fireplace, and a wood pile there. And it falls right on the wood pile. So you can imagine what happens to wire when it gets into a wood pile. Just picture that, dude. So I had to have her help, you know, and she does it. I was pulling on the line, but see, the problem is, dude, she doesn't know what to look at. I said, okay, look around as it's coming up. Make sure that none of the wires are caught on the wood pile or on blocks of wood or on the rocks in the fireplace or anything like that. Right. Well, I'm pulling and pulling. It's a circus act, dude. It's a crap show. It's something for YouTube, and I didn't record it. There was cursing. There was all kinds of stuff. I'm like, I'm pulling and nothing's happening, and nothing's moving. What's going on? She says, stop pulling. She's all tangled up in the woodpile. I said, well, tell me that before I start yanking on it. I ended up breaking one of the freaking elements, dude. And then I got all pissed off, and you see where that goes from there. But she's good. She never says anything. She just takes it and she walks back in the house. And I don't know, dude. I think that stuff is wearing thin, and there's going to come a point where she's going to say, "No, I ain't helping you anymore." Over.
K1GLMGVLDTX. Man, yeah, I've done that one as well. The T-shirt. The usual thing is, can you just give me a hand? It'll be 5 minutes. So now she says it won't be 5 minutes. And before we start anything, she says to me, "Do not start shouting on me, because I'll be in the house if we do anything like that." She gives me the orders now. Do not start shouting at me before we go out to start doing anything. And I go, "Yes, love. No, take back to full love." So, yeah, I've been there. Oh, dear. We was doing something the other month. A 10-meter versal I was putting in the bottom of the garden. And it's on a steel scaffold. And I was putting another 6 foot. I had an aluminium piece of it, a small piece of aluminium 6 foot long. And I put it on the top of this 20-foot scaffold. And I said to my missus, right, it was down. So I said, right, I'll start pushing it up, and you just balance it. And I started going up. Anyway, she stopped balancing it. She said, it's too heavy, but she just let go. The thing came down, it hit a brick, but it jumped back up, mate, I was right in my nuts. I went, yeah, that was a good shot, love. So, yeah, she's not into stuff like that. But like I said, the comedy show, we've done this quite a few times. I was putting a beam up at the back of the house. One of the neighbours was watching as well. And anyhow, it all come tumbling down. It's bouncing off the patio on the top, and he was laughing his head off. So yeah, we've had some daft bloody things. But yeah, you're not as young as you used to. Well, I'm not as young as I used to be. I'm in my 60s now. So yeah, when he was back on the air years ago in the 80s, obviously. I used to have a tower that was bolted on the side of the house. I run up the tower. I didn't have ladders. I used to climb up the tower, and I'd just be on the roof doing whatever. And I wouldn't bother climbing down. I'd jump off, mate, and roll on the grass, like a combat roll, like I was in some sort of film thing. But yeah, I couldn't do that down now, mate. Well, it's all paving soles back in the house anyway. But yeah, I couldn't do that now. I'd break my bloody legs. In fact, I don't go up on the roof no more, mate. I get one of my pals to come round. But yeah, I've been in that comedy show with mine there, all right.
Holy crap. That is funny, dude. See, you got to provide entertainment to the neighbors, right? We have new neighbors. Oh, gosh, that's funny, dude. I was sitting here laughing. I'm so glad I recorded this because this is classic, man. We have new neighbors. They've been in here coming up to 2 years this fall. I think September, October, they moved in. And they are a young couple, and they said to me one day, of course, I always call this property the, it's a massive cheese grater. And if you were to take a Greyhound bus, right? Big old Greyhound bus, and throw it laterally through the property, it would come out in like a dozen Volkswagen-sized chunks on the other end because of all the wire up. There's wire everywhere, dude. And so he says to me, his name's Matt, and he says, hey, he says, actually he didn't say it to me, he said it to my wife. He was talking to Lisa, and he says, what's going on over there anyways? And she says, what do you mean? He says, what is your husband in the circus or something? He's got all these trapeze wires over there. He's got all these trapeze wires over there, but I never see him on the trapeze. And Lisa didn't know if he was serious or if he was being facetious. I think he was just kidding, but he was kind of curious. She's like, oh, he's a ham radio operator, and she looked at his face, and he was, see, there's nothing they can do about it, dude. They can say whatever they want. They can't do a damn thing about it. I can do whatever I want over here. There's no zoning or anything. There's no HOA. There's nothing. I'm out in the country. I could put a friggin' turd house right on the border of the property, leave the door open with the toilet sitting there, and there's nothing they can do about it. You know what I mean? He didn't say anything else. They're an awfully nice couple, but they look at you. You're out there with an antenna cannon. I got this big spud gun, things like 3 feet long. It's all made out of PVC, and it runs on compressed air. Shoots this tennis ball with 27 pennies in it. Don't ask. It's got to be 27 pennies. Dude, that thing, all you hear is thump, and that friggin' ball will go up over a 120-foot tree like snap of a finger, And they just look at me like I'm freaking insane. Over?
Same here, Steve, same here. In fact, my neighbours,
Hey, Splatter Boy, move down a little bit. You're splattering 10K wide.
Talked to my missus and said, we'd like to put a screen up. I've got a patio, but you'll be able to see on the videos. I've got like a top patio on the house because my house is on a hill. And he's below me. To the left of the house, he's below me. So when he looks through his window, he's downstairs with me. He's looking into his garden, but it's like a hill. It goes up, but when he's in his bedroom, he's level with the X-beam. And anyway, there had a few people around wanted to buy the house and said, oh, that house over there. Well, we signed on to him, so we can't look into his windows. They can see into the bedroom windows, so we was going to buy it, but we're not going to buy it. Anyhow, we knocked on the door and said to my missus, would you mind if we put a screen up on the patio? It's a dear screen, it's going to cost £1,000, so that's about $1,500. So, Mrs. said, yeah, I'll see my husband. So, anyhow, she comes in and tells me. I said that.
Hey, this frequency is in use, 2895. We've been here for a half hour. Please move off. Thank you.
When they're looking out, they can't see the X-beam. Awful. Two of the daughters came round and they put a bloody big screen up on the side of the house. It looks quite nice, actually. I wish I'd have thought of it myself, mate, because it's more, no one can see me now if I'm sat on the patio. I'm getting a bit of sun, no one can see me, but yeah, I wonder what my neighbours think. A few years back, when I started putting the wires up, I got a G5RV, I put an inverted L, and I thought diapers. And one of the neighbours says, cat keeps bringing in birds, dead birds or half-dead birds. And what it was, the birds were flying into the wires, the cats were waiting from underneath me, we're catching them.
Holy cow, dude. You see, you are insane. You've got the disease. You do know that's a disease, John, right?
Yeah, we've all got it, haven't we?
Oh, heck yeah. Heck yeah. The first step, the 12-step program of Ham Radio Anonymous is the first thing is to admit you got a problem, over.
Oh, yes, I've admitted that a long time ago. What's the words my missus say? I'm obsessed. You're obsessed with them bloody radios. You're obsessed. And she's a radio one, mate.
Hey, anything that keeps you out of their hair, I always consider, I don't know. I'm not going down that road because I know a lot of guys that, their YLs, you're not putting that up. You're not, it's hilarious, dude. Lisa, I hung, you're going to laugh. This was, several years ago. I hung a 2-element 80-meter full a set of two 80-meter full wave loops in the front yard, dude, of the house. So when you look at the house, what do you see? You see these huge 260 something foot loops hanging there. Right. So I was playing with like a phased antenna system for 80 meters. Worked great, you know. She comes home. I've been working on it all day. I got it up. It's all working. It's all running. I was in the process of tuning it. She walks in the door. I see her, right? She stops at the mailbox every day down the front, looks at the house, gets in the car, drives up the driveway. And I said, hey, you notice anything out front? She says, no. I said, you got to be kidding me. You didn't see that freaking abomination out front? I figured she'd blow a gasket, dude. She says, no. What? So I kick open the front door. I said, look. She didn't even see it, dude. How do you miss that? You know, there's 2 feed points hanging only about 10 feet off the ground. How do you miss that? Do you think she cared? She's like, oh, cool. Does it work? I said, yeah, it works. And she says, what are you going to do with it? I said, well, that's for 75 meters for the DX window. She says, oh, cool. Turns around, walks back in the house, and she says, what do you want for dinner? That was it, dude. Talk about freaking bliss, man. I'm telling you, those women are hard to find. Over?
Yeah, geez, yeah, I can agree with that one as well, mate. I've got a few pals at this neck of the woods, and yeah, they can't put this up, can't put that up, and I don't know. They've got a few grand in radios, and they just work fed wire, which is a waste of time. You could buy yourself a 500 quid radio, you know. But yeah, I can remember you doing that antenna. I'm sure you put that on YouTube, the 80-meter phase array. A few years back though, mate, over.
Oh gosh, yeah. Did I ever do one? I don't know if. Yeah, I must have them. I did 3 of them. So I had the 80. That was a great antenna system, but boy, dude, it was big. You know, two loops. I couldn't get them quite far enough apart, but they were great. One of the best antennas I've ever had up for 75 meters for DXing. 2 phased. They were phased deltas. I ran a phased Moxon, hybrid Moxon, used 2 driven elements. That was a good antenna, dude. That thing worked pretty good. I think it kind of sucked as far as forward drive goes, as far as gain, but the front to back was savage on that, dude. It was like 25, 30 dB. It was like insane on that thing. And then I had a set of phased dipoles. They worked pretty good. But to be honest with you, you know, I tried a vertical. It was a 65-foot vertical, quarter wave, and it only had 12 1/8 wave radials underneath it. You know, that thing worked great, dude. I'm probably going to put something like that back up, except elevated this time. So I'll run like 8 1/8 wave radials underneath it, but the feed, see, I can get the top of it about 100 to 105 feet off the ground, which will put it, you know, I can run 45-degree angles on the radials and only run like 8 1/8 wave radials on it. That's what I'm thinking about doing this winter. Over?
Yeah, Roger. Well, most of them antennas, I can remember you working on them on your YouTube. I remember the Moxon. Yeah, that one worked great guns. All the way back to your X-Speed, but that got battered in the way, did it? It just exploded on you. And that was a few years back as well. Yeah, I'm great on the vertical as well. I've been thinking the same about getting a vertical, but it's fitting in the QTH. I've only got small well-mates. That garden's probably 90 to 100 foot long. That's something else, so. I've got an inverted L up, but I've got it on the CG 3000 also tuner that's out in the garden, but it only takes 200 watts. So I was thinking about an 80-meter vertical myself. I'm 30 countries off maybe the XCC on 80, and I've got the 5-band XCC then. I can send off the certificate, blah, 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 blah. But, yeah, 43-foot vertical, Yeah, so you'd have raised radials. Yeah, I couldn't have it raised. I've got no trees here, either, Steve. It's obviously, this house that we're in is a new build, so the actual trees that are at the bottom of the garden and around me, they're only, 20 years old, so they're only small things. Across the road, behind my house, this is farmland, and it was sold from the farmer across the way. But the main road at the bottom, about 200 feet away from my house, there's a road that comes into the main town. I'm in a small village here called Hadfield, and across the road there's farmer's land, but it's got some trees on there, mate. I said to my missus, I'm going across there, putting a wire across and bringing it back to the house. She said, yeah, bloody no. Yeah, just kept busting me pals. Like you said, you got that thing for shooting it, stuff into the trees. He's got an air cannon. Another mate of mine's got like a big catapult thing. Run do. But yeah, I was thinking of the vertical myself, mate. Because you're not actually going to get that much off a dipole, or you're going to get two directions and that's it. So I think the highest one, the antenna that's up here is the actual G5 that I've got up. Compromised antenna again because I'm still in the QTH. That's up at roughly 45 foot from the house. It's on a 20-foot scaffold on the side of the house. So it's 45, 50 foot there, and it goes down to the bottom of the garden. There's a 40-foot push-up mat, aluminium mat, that I found from a guy in Wales. It's similar to Salter beam mat. Not Salter beam.
Got dinner. Got the dinner bell.
It's a push-up mat, so can't think of the name of it now. But yeah, thick aluminium, it don't bend in the wind, mate. But I was even thinking of phasing, putting a tap in that, but it only goes up 40 foot. Or maybe I might get an higher-powered automatic tuner for outside so I can hook up to the linear. It's just getting the power. Man, you've got to receive first to get wherever you're getting to. So, yeah, I think to have worked all I can work on, ain't you, Steve, over?
Yeah, that's a tough band. You know, the low band DXing stuff. Good on you, man. 30 countries for TXCC? Wow, dude. That's great on that band. It's a tough band from here. Never get that. I'll never be able to do that from here. Well, I can't do it on any band from here. Doesn't matter what band. 200. 200 DXCC, no. 100, yeah. Good Lord. I got 100 countries. I got 100 countries in the first CQ Worldwide I did from here. It was crazy. That weekend, I'm like, okay, cool. It wasn't confirmed, but I was like, holy crap, that's pretty cool. But, you know, no going west from here. So it's difficult, you know. Anyways, I just got the dinner bell, which is H&R Stompin' Stuff. You know H&R Stompin' Stuff. I've said that before. She just stomped on the floor, which means dinner is served. So I'm going to go up and fill the pie hole there, John. Good to catch you, and I'll look for you again, man. Thanks for stopping in. You made my day. Had kind of a stressful day. Had a meeting with the doctor, and that's all I'm going to say. It was a little stressful, and this puts turns a frown upside down. Everything's okay, though. It's okay. So, G0DTX. Fun as always, John. K1GMM, over.
Yeah, Roger, Steve. Yeah, it's nice hooking up with you as well, mate. Nice to be on the band, and chin up, mate, as I say in the trade. You go get your tea, mate, and I'm going to get myself a cup of tea. What time is it now? It's midnight here, so I'll get my last cup of tea, and I'll be calling it a draw very shortly. I like to have a quick look on YouTube. I spend most of my time on radio on YouTube. Anyway, there you go. 7-3s, buddies. Like I said, nice catching you up with you again, and I hope we get the 73 sorted, and chin up whatever's going on, mate. Chin up. And all the best to you and yours. Kilo 1 Golf Mike. 7-3, my mate. G0DTX.
Yeah, 7-3, John. All the best there. K1 GMM.